So this week I spent all of my class periods talking to students about their grades. Ultimately, in my world, I wouldn't give grades if I didn't have to. Working mostly with formative feedback and reflection and just looking at students, having conversations with them about their learning, setting goals, and allowing them to be the masters of ultimately where we focus what they learn. So last week I showed you guys the form that I use to help kids have these conversations, and this is the finished form that I have, and I'm sure you can see at the bottom I have tabs for the different classes, and this was the incoming form. And basically some of the students, as you could see on the screen, have really tried to defend why they deserve the grades that they got, as well as the goals they set for this semester, if they met them, and why or why not they feel they met them, and ultimately what they would like to do as a result of where they got from the first semester to the next, and start setting goals for the second semester. And when we have these conversations in class, we center them around the grade that they gave themselves, the body of work, and most importantly, their improvement against the standards. And then we talk about the goals they set. So I'm looking at this one right here where it says keeping up with the workload, improve on my conclusions in papers, and update my blog. So keeping up with the workload, again, to me that's a productivity goal, and I would ask a student in this scenario to set a learning target, not a productivity goal, although those are totally cool and they're good for them to have for the purpose of these conferences. It doesn't make sense to me for them to be setting productivity goals. They need to be setting specific learning targets so that I can help them with strategies in order to improve their learning. So with this particular student, something we continue to work on is her ability to develop her ideas using textual evidence, which was another goal we added after the fact. Improving on her conclusions is definitely something that we can work upon, and update blog, instead of updating blog, which is also a productivity goal, we should say perhaps developing her voice or reading more so that she, being able to read and comprehend what she's reading to develop some kind of voice. A lot of them also put as their goals to ask better questions and to come for help more often. And that's something that's really, really important to me in trying to help these students develop as learners, because ultimately that's really what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to scroll through a couple more of these screens so that you could kind of see the kind of answers that I'm getting from students, and where you might want to have conversations with your students if you were doing something like this. In addition to the self-assessments, the kids do a body of work which we keep in a portfolio. We have 2 portfolio conference nights throughout the year where kids come in with their parents and essentially show them the work and talk about their learning. And then at the end of the year, my seniors, they have to do an exit portfolio conference where they put their body, the best body of work and improved work together, and give a presentation for about 15 to 20 minutes about their entire high school career. These portfolios are essential to students being able to talk about their learning and meet them in a really important way. So overall, I just wanted to make sure everybody kind of got a sense of what I've been doing this week. I think it was a great success. Most of my grades are done now. There are 1 or 2 students I still need to talk to. There is that once or twice with awkward sort of moments where kids overgrade themselves, and really I just had to look at them and say, if you gave yourself an A, it means you're mastering every standard that we're working on right now. Are you mastering them, or are you meeting them? And most of them, without me having to tell them that they've inflated their grade, knew that they should take it down a half grade or whatnot, just in terms of what they've actually learned. So I hope you found this useful and that you were able to see the kind of work my students have been doing. If you have any questions, let me know. How do you help kids self-assess?